Shalom, shalom, Israel. This is your boy Kifa, and we're gonna hit them scripts. So, in these scriptures, what I'm about to start doing is this is a kickoff to something I'm calling the Proverbs series. Right? What I'm doing is basically going through all the precepts on specific topics that Proverbs actually have to talk about. All right, and the top of this series of a Proverbs is we're gonna talk about wine. And, drink strong drink of wine. Basically, what is everything that Solomon has to say about wine and strong drink? Basically, right? So, right, we're just gonna do all the precepts, getting you, giving you healthy food. You know what I'm saying? For food for thought, healthy wisdom to take. So let's get to it. If you understand who Solomon was and Yahweh was, then you understand that these words are the same words that Yahweh will be speaking. So this is his thoughts on what this was. So we're gonna start with Proverbs chapter 20, verse 1. And it reads, "Wine is a mocker, strong drink is raging, and whosoever is deceived thereby is not wise." Meaning that, you know what I'm saying, like, you think that wine going to help you and save you and do all these different things for you, being deceived by it, you know what I'm saying? No, he's saying that you're not a wise person. Now, when I say wine, it could be a twofold. The actual wine and strong drink, or these other different philosophies, right? About Islam doctrine, the Christianity doctrine, or just Hebrew Israelites doctrine that's not really according to Scripture. There's some doctrine out there that they preach that just they going off. But in this one we're talking about, right, it's just wine, right? So if you're deceived by these doctrines, right, if you're deceived by wine, period, you're not wise. That's basically that's one of the first things Proverbs actually says about wine. All right. The next one is Proverbs chapter 21, verse 17. And it reads, "He that loveth pleasure shall be a poor man, and he that loveth wine and oil shall not be rich." So, and you can really see this in movies and stuff like that, where people, they spend all day at the bar, all night at the bar, and they usually like poor people that use wine as a way to cope with it. Matter of fact, they said that alcohol was like a demon or something, a spirit thing. So, which is technically it is, because it's a form of drunkenness. So, you have to watch out. You know what I'm saying? He's basically saying that if you love wine a lot, most likely you're gonna be a poor man in this truth. You know what I'm saying? Let's get some more. Proverbs chapter 23, verse 20. And it reads, "Be not among wine vipers, among righteous eaters of flesh," right? "For the drunkard and the glutton shall come to poverty, and drowsiness shall clothe a man with rags." So this is actually kind of cool, because you got to go into the question: wasn't Yahweh Shah a wine viper, right? It was, or even it says, I believe it even said that Yahweh Shah came to the people drinking wine and eating, right? And he was making an analogy between him and John the Baptist, but he never broke the scriptures. In the scriptures, it says that wine vipers and righteous eaters of flesh, basically glutton, people who glutton a lot, who eat so much, right? They should come to poverty. They're going to be poor. And drowsiness shall clothe them as a man with a rag. You know what I'm saying? They got all this stuff going on. And that's true. I see a lot of brothers that they hang on to wine so much, and they get cloudy and drowsiness. It's just they going off, right? They're just going completely off. And the Pharisees, they thought they was wise because they saw this scripture back then, and they fought away when Yahushua was there, because Yahushua was a wine viper. And we all know the Pharisees, they wasn't even smart because they was a bunch of hypocrites anyway. But that's the next scripture. The next scripture is Proverbs chapter 23, verse 29 through 35. And this gives you a good breakdown of wine and stuff like that, right? So it speaks. Who had woe? Who had sorrow? Who had contentions? Who had babbling? Who had wounds without cause? Who had redness of eyes? Yahushua had eyes red, his eyes like flame of fire. He was a wine robber, right? It says this, verse 30. They that tarry long at the wine, they that go to seek mixed wine. They the ones that go into this what? Whoa. You go to all these different doctrines, drunken with Babylon. Babylon meaning that this philosophy of this land of America, this land of confusion, drunken with Babylon. Woe. Those who have woe, sorrow, they get sorrow, contentions, babblings, wounds without cause, right? So the same thing with this truth. You know, you got to be careful with wine drinking wine and stuff like that. So you drink in moderation, of course, but you know, he was saying, yo, you got to watch out with wine, man. You know, and I'm speaking in spiritual and carnal, both the same, Verse 31. Look not thou upon the wine when it is red, when it's given its color in the cup, when it's moving itself around. Yeah. Because people who drunk so much, they just stare at it. It's like they being hypnotized in a sense like that. Verse 32. At the last it biteth like a serpent and stingeth like an adder. Thy eyes shall behold a strange woman, and thy heart shall utter perverse things. Meaning that you can't really control yourself, right? Because it says what? It's going to sting like an adder, biting like a serpent at the end. When you finally come to your senses, sleeping with that strange woman, committing adultery and stuff like that, you got to deal with the consequences, right? Because you wasn't controlling yourself. Verse 34. Yea, though thou shalt be as he that lieth down in the midst of the sea, right? It's like Mrs. Sea, you know, just waving, going by. Or as he that lieth upon the top of a mast, just out there. Verse 35. They have stricken me. That's what he's saying. Shall I say, and I was not sick. They have beaten me, and I felt it not. When shall I awake? I will seek it yet again. Meaning that these people who drink wine, they complain about a lot of different things, yet they're going to seek it again. They're going to do the same thing that they're complaining about. That's causing all this trouble, right? So that's another thing on why you want to stay away from wine, especially in these last days, and the wine of these philosophies and carnality, you know, actual wine sometimes too. I mean, it's good to drink a little wine. According to when Paul says to deal with all this trouble, yeah, you can drink a little wine because you just strong drink or something like that, because it is stressful, and it's truth. This truth gets stressful, but according to Proverbs, wine does more damage than good. Let's get some more. Proverbs 31. And it reads this. Let's start at 4. Proverbs chapter 31, verse 4. It is not for kings, O Lemuel, and it's not for kings to drink wine, nor for princes strong drink. Yeah, you a king. You're a prince. You're a person in truth. It's really not for you to really drink this wine. Drink this wine of affliction. Well, just drink this wine of these philosophies, and you know what I'm saying, and carnally also, because you got to keep yourself straight. You're the king. You're the top man. Everybody's looking up to you, right? And it says, verse 5, lest they drink and forget the law, and they pervert the judgments of any of the afflicted. Yeah, because you know what I'm saying? You all over the place. You're going to pervert the judgment because you're not even in the right mind. You drowsiness is going off, right? That's one thing. Let's get verse 5. Verse 6 actually it says, give strong drink unto him that is ready to perish, and wine unto those that be of heavy hearts. Yeah, because it be a lot of people that and I remember it was a movie one time. If y'all haven't seen the Green Mile or whatever, the man he was ready to die. What he asked for what? Cornbread and wine, because it says so they can forget the afflictions that they going through. That's why Paul said you kind of want to need a little bit of wine, a little bit of strong drink when you're dealing with these trials and tribulations, these temptations and stuff like that, because hey, it does get on the person, right? Verse 7, and it says, let him drink and forget his poverty and remember his misery no more. Yeah, because, you know what I'm saying, you got nothing but constant pain, constant this and that. You worrying about how you going to die and stuff like that. And that's what Yahweh was going through. You got to think about it. He knew how he was going to die. He knew the scriptures. He knew what they said. Sometimes he was trying to forget it until it actually happens, because it is scripture that says, worry about the things of tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? Worry about the things of today. Don't worry about the things of tomorrow, because the day has its own problems within it. All right, so roughly paraphrasing. So that's everything about wine according to Proverbs. That's all the wise sayings of Solomon. And there you go. Other than that, Shalom Israel. All right.